See, you would have to break it down in order to measure it. That on itself is not measurable. And this was quite a measurable way of saying it, but customer loyalty is an easy part. But there is many of these when we are talking about values. This was the biggest source of growth, where they did not have a value matrix in place and how to identify and develop them. These were the two, and I do realize it's very short a presentation to condense and try to build a framework to it to say, okay, I get the picture.
You will see it in the supply chain, for example. If you take out a part of the supply chain, maybe it's good for you, or maybe it's not good for you. It's not good for you. Is it because that the part you're taking out is a part of the chain and have a value for the chain, for example?
Yes. That's where you need to define on the business model.
Yes.
The value by the activities, because you cannot do it by the process itself. This is a good example of how these fit together, and when you do it separately.
Therefore, you also have to align the two kind of values.
Yes, this fits together with the business model and your process initiatives, BPM. The link between those two. And this is the reasons why I showed between. It could be showed equally as well. This is not to say that the one is over the other. All right. Okay. Very good.
On the previous slide, you're talking about how you get the two levels to the one previous to that. How you get the link between this one. And you said most companies work just on the KPI and the PPI.
Yes.
So
it's kind of this.
What's the example in terms of ensuring that you get the overall picture? Because I think with all of this, people try to make it too complicated all the time, and it's lots of things that people can talk about rather than just taking a straightforward general initiative on how to incorporate it and make it, from an end user perspective, much more straightforward to understand.
Yes.
So what's the example that you see of linking that in to get the overall combination of everyone getting involved?
First of all, before I say the example, I will have to say why it's done this way. Because if you really understand why a symptom is there or why the difficulty is there, you can resolve it. You can come with something right, but they could not see it's the right thing because they think this is the roadmap to follow. The reason is we have to remember how process improvements came about. It's a bottom-up approach. It's a kind of an engineering approach. Concurrent engineering, lean, BPR, BPEs, or all the TQMs initiatives, they came from this area, which meaning that, and today any BPM framework only includes this. SAP is the first one with the book published right now in June on Sapphire, that they come out with this due to the study that they came and saying you cannot actually create true value for the company unless you take part of this. So a company starting to do a BPM initiative, they take any book, they take any process way of doing it, and you have to remember who is it who does it. It's mostly operational. So you start on operational level and you start here. And the difficulty is you do not get up here, because here, and it is right, here you have all the PPIs, the KPIs. This is what matters on this level.
But is that just because you're not bringing the business at the right level?
Yes, and it's a lot of work defining all the different critical success factors, and we're talking about all the different executives at this level to align. Just if I can show an example, and we did this together with the companies of the few companies who did it, how it looked. Sorry, this was the wrong level. It's with this one. So let's take a look here. I'm just going a little bit farther. I'm sorry, I know it looks terrible at this level. This was looking at it from these points of views, the processes, okay? Imagine if you have to link all your different processes. This is, by the way, this is 6 pages, and this is just the example for the performance management matrix for the CFO. Just his view. Imagine you main all the different processes. In some level they have activities, and others they are not defined yet. Okay? Which, by the way, is a major mistake, because that is real value creation. Here we are talking about here possibilities. This is typically BPM hotspots, value spots. So in some activities they are not defined activities. Here they use the balance scorecards. Here they do improvements of benchmarking, etc. They have KPIs, what they do on this level, but imagine that you need to interlink this right now with all the critical success factors on this level. This is actually, why do they do this? He needs to optimize intelligence. And who does he do this initiative with? Both the CFO and the COO. At this level, just another example here, improve responsiveness. It's with the CMO and the CFO. And why do they do this? This is the strategic business objective. They want to improve competitiveness. The difficulty is, when you do some changes here, and unless you know why and which impact it will have here, you don't do it the right way. So you do a bottom-up approach, which you do not connect enough with the up approach. So it's just the bottom approach. Do you understand? So this is the difficulty. So in doing this, so I understand why there is we do this we can do. But that will not give the impact to the organization as it should have. And by the way, what we are teaching here, those things, this is nothing new. This is what the business does. They have this. You can ask any, the CMO, the COO, all the different ones, they have their strategic business objectives. They have their critical success factors they need to do. But they are not interlinked with any processes or with the indicators of how to change them. And even BPM projects do not do that part. And that's the interesting part we identified. If you do it the other way around, if you would say, but Mark, could we use, I still have 3 minutes, could we use a bottom-up approach as well? From here down. Because obviously there are some plus doing it this way, but there are a lot of minus as well. Especially when you say, okay, BPM is good, and I want to do it, however, a bottom-up approach. No, a top-down approach. Let's just take a look how this would look. If you would define at this level, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller just for us to view. If you would define at this level, this would be the business model strategy. Please see, the example is just to make it, what would the company do to be more focused? Okay? We did 4 examples. What would it do to be more